Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
From MacArthur High School, it is the Game of the Week on ICTN. And today we got softball coming your way as the Lady Tigers have come up to face the Lady Cardinals of MacArthur. Hi again, everyone. I'm Lance Brown. Bob Berry alongside. So glad to have you along. A beautiful night for softball as we take a look at the district standings and show you just how important this contest is. Heritage on top of the district standings, LD Bell in second place. Then you have Irving and Trinity tied for third place right now. MacArthur in a hunt for that playoff spot. And the Nimitz Vikings, well, they ain't so good anymore, are they? Vikings having their troubles so far with a 1-5 record. Let's take a look at the starting lineups as we get ready for this. The Irving Tigers will send Madison Goodman to the plate first, followed by Alexis Cruz. Then comes Daisy Martinez, Melissa Hantelman, Mackenzie Goodman, Justice Rojo, Morgan Wang, Rayleigh Garza, and Munya Yao. Katie O'Leary will be the extra player playing right field. There you see coming to the mound, Madeline Golightly. She will have the job here as we set the defense for you real quick. You'll have Tori Morris at first base, Maya Watkins, the second baseman. The shortstop is Lakin Woolover. And your third baseman is Inez Hinojosa. The catcher tonight, Casey Watkins. In left field, you will have Brianna Miller. The center fielder for tonight's ball game, Keona Brooks. And in right field, Jocelyn Martin. Stepping into the plate is Madison Goodman, and we're set to get it going. And here with the play-by-play of tonight's ball game is Bob Berry.
Okay, thank you very much, Lance. We'll tell you that this game is being recorded on the night of March the 25th. This is a Tuesday. Temperature just about 60 degrees. Wind out of the south should not be a factor because it's really not that strong, but just a gorgeous evening as the game begins. Madison Goodman, the shortstop, leads off. And Golightly's first pitch way up high for a ball. She likes to go by the name of Maddie Golightly, wearing number 15 there on her jersey. Goodman in front of the count, 1-0. And the second pitch of tonight's game, again, it's up high, 2-0 the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Just the beginning of things here, the game being played, by the way, on the campus of MacArthur High School. Lightly looking for that first strike of the game. And there it is, 2-1 the count.
There's Coach Luttrell, head coach of the Lady Tigers. Been here a while now. Starting to get a little stability here with the coaches on both teams.
3-1 now the count to Madison. Looking at him there wearing the jacket with his hands in his pockets, you think, wow, it's really cold. So he's not flashing any signals right now, that's for sure.
Maybe it is.
There's a hot shot to the third sacker. Stops it, throws to first just in time for the out. Nice play. Ball was really smoked.
Hinojosa made a nice play. This to stay with it, keep the ball in front of her, not get rattled, and made a nice throw, good strong throw, and there's one away. Good job by Hinojosa.
Yes, it was. Ariana Garcia will step up now, right-handed batter.
Remember, they're so close there. You don't have a lot of time to react because they're playing in for the bunt, and that was a really hard-hit ball.
Golightly's first pitch, way up high. We've seen that one before. 1-0 the count. The outfield plays Garcia straight away.
Not terribly deep either.
No, not at all. A pitch on the inside corner for a strike. The sun in the west is pretty close to setting, and it's really giving the right fielder fit. She's looking right into that sun, and she's been shielding her eyes.
It's nasty for her and the second baseman and the first baseman.
That pitch inside for a ball, 2-1.
I see the first baseman shielding her eyes.
Yeah.
These gals aren't wearing caps either like baseball players do. Give you a little bit of shade.
Garcia, the batter, with a 2-1 count. And the pitch inside, 3-1. So Golightly taking her time will walk to the back of the mound.
Reassess what she's been doing wrong and focus in now on the 3-1.
And having done that, here's the pitch. Strike two. Garcia maybe trying to influence the umpire. Took a step down to first base, but the strike was called. So we have our first full count of the night to Ariana Garcia. She's hoping that she'll become the team's first base runner. And she will, as she takes that pitch inside for a ball. So she draws the walk. She'll be down at first base, and Daisy Martinez will come up. And this is a young lady who can really swing the bat.
Well, she's hitting .429 right now with 13 runs driven in.
Martinez with 19 hits totally, and a little anomaly here as far as she's concerned, that first pitch in for a strike. She has more triples than doubles. 2 doubles, 3 triples.
It is one of those little oddities.
Yep, definitely. 0-1 the count to Daisy.
Leads the team in runs scored with 24 as well.
That pitch bounces up the ball, 1-1. A ball, a strike, 1 out, runner down at first base. Just the start of things here on ICTN. MacArthur up against the Irving Tigers. Bob Barry along with Lance Brown bringing the game to you. That pitch on the inside corner. 1-2 the count to Martinez. Boy, the pitchers are so close to the batter here in softball. You really don't have that much time to make a decision whether you're going to swing at the pitch or not. Well, hits a hot shot to the third baseman, makes the stop, throws to second, not in time, and throws the ball into center field. Center fielder gets it, and we'll have runners at second and third. So really, that's going to be the way I'd score it. Is a base hit. No way was she going to get Martinez at first base, and you'll watch the replay right here. Hot shot to the third second. Try to make the shorter throw to second, but the runner was already down at second. So credit Martinez with a base hit, and that both runners advance on the throwing error by the third baseman. So runners in scoring position at second and third, and Melissa Handelman, the center fielder, comes up.
Good hustle, though, by Brooks in center field to get over there and dive to cut that thing off. Saved a run from coming in.
First pitch up high for a ball.
Handelman hitting .345 this season. She has 17 runs driven in, so she's number 1 on the team in this particular category.
And that's why they got her batting fourth, I'm sure, driving those runs. That pitch up high again, ball 2.
Having Daisy up in front of her doesn't hurt her
Doesn't
at all,
hurt,
does it?
no, not at all.
Having a girl hitting .429 ahead of you will get you some opportunities to get some ribs.
2-0 the count. Way up high, ball 3.
She has, she being Golightly, I'm talking about now, has struggled with her control throughout the first inning here.
Well, she's tossed quite a few pitches up high, way out of the strike zone. Way out on the count here, 3-0. And that pitch in for the strike, it's 3-1.
So far, the home plate umpire, I think he has a kind of a liberal strike zone here. But the other ones of their balls have just been so far out of bounds that there's no way you could call them a strike.
Now the 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So we have 2 walks and an infield hit. And the Irving Tigers licking their chops here as Mackenzie Goodman will come up.
And the 2 balls that were hit were hard hit.
Yes, yeah, they were smashed to the third sector.
And Goodman's no slouch. She's hitting .364 with 16 runs driven in. And she has a home run.
And an opportunity to help her own cause because she's the starting pitcher for the Tigers. First pitch line foul down the third base line. Strike 1, way out in front of that one.
And yeah, she whacked it good.
Coach Luttrell telling her to kind of settle down there. Boy, you know you got to be anxious to get up there with the bases loaded. These are the things you fantasize about. And let's see what she can do with it. Yeah! Foul again. And again, she hit it sharply.
Yeah, 2 balls that were not any accidents at all. They were very hard hit. She's way out in front of it.
So Golightly has done what she wanted to do, and that is get in front of the hitter. Goodman down on the count, 0-2.
Might try a change here or something.
Yes! Nice play by the third baseman to get the force at the plate. And they're 2 down. Nice play by the third second. Again, the ball hit hard.
Hinojosa again with a good job. And she makes the smart decision. Plenty of time to come home. The ball is very hard hit. There's just no place to go after that. What a good job there by Hinojosa again.
It was, and she got a very nice hop that time.
She's had 3 smashes at her so far.
Here is Justice Rojo up with the bases loaded, and that first pitch inside for a ball. So down at first base is Mackenzie Goodman probably thinking, what do I have to do to get a hit? I hit the ball well 3 times, and all I get is a fielder's choice. Way up high, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the first inning. We are scoreless, but the Tigers are threatening. The 2-0 pitch right down the pipe for a strike, 2-1.
I do notice Daisy Martinez, when she comes down the line at third, is right on the line. So if she gets hit with a ball, she'll be out. She'll be in fair territory. She needs to come into foul territory just a step.
The 2-1 pitch. Inside for a ball. It's 3-1. Hinojosa playing close to third base. She said, boy, I mean, she should be shell-shocked by now. She's had a bunch of opportunities down there at third. And she is moving really up close to the batter. The 3-1 pitch, inside ball 4. And that drives in a run. So 3 walks. And the Tigers have scored their first run of the game. Rojo getting the RBI. And Daisy Martinez coming in to score the run.
I think if I were the person most worried out here, it would be Hinojosa's parents. Being that close and wondering how my dental insurance is right
exactly, now. Yeah, exactly. Morgan Wang is the batter with the sacks loaded. And takes one up high. You know, it seems, Lance, that almost on every batter here, the first pitch has been way up high for some reason.
Morgan hitting .383 with 7 runs driven in.
That pitch inside, 2-0. Well, I don't know what Coach Luttrell's philosophy is, but if this was me, I wouldn't have anyone swing until this girl throws a strike. The 2-0 pitch, and that's ball 3.
Yeah, I can virtually bet you my pink slip right now she's not going to swing. So
your pink slip?
Yes, the thing I wear under my dress, yes. As opposed to the pink slip on my car, yes.
3-0 the count. And Golightly's pitch. That's in for strike 3-1. Well, you know, that has to really play mind games with the pitcher when they have difficulty getting the ball into the strike zone.
Oh, yeah.
Now the 3-1 count. It's inside ball 4, and for the second consecutive batter, a base on balls and a run forced in, and the Tigers lead it 2-0. Well, I'll tell you, there's an adage in baseball, and I guess in softball as well, really, that walks will really kill you, and you're seeing it right here.
Well, there's no defense for it. There's no way to defend against a walk. I mean, and she's look, it's not she's not getting squeezed on the strike zone either.
No, not at all.
And she's just flat out wild.
Yeah.
And the two balls that weren't walks were hard hit. Well, actually 3, but they were all pretty hard hit.
So here's the catcher, Rayleigh Garza. It's Rayleigh Garza coming up, right? She had the long ponytail.
Putting on the batting gloves.
Let's see if Golightly can get the ball in for a strike here. Just a little bit high. Not nearly as high as some of the other ones have been, but still out of the strike zone, ball one. Pitch inside, 2-0.
Batting gloves becoming popular in the late 1960s with a player by the name of Ken Hawk Harrelson, who started wearing some of his golf gloves when he went out to hit and found out, hey, it helps me grip the ball back. They bat better. And as a result, most players do wear them now.
Coach Luttrell talking to the home plate umpire. The conversation having finished. We'll get back to play. Here is the 2-0 pitch. Swung on a tap it into the third baseman. Hinojosa flips it to the shortstop covering at third, and the side is retired. So Miss Hinojosa has really been busy. And the Tigers also busy as they scored twice, leave the bases loaded. They scored 2 runs on just 1 hit, but they took advantage of Golightly's wildness, 4 walks. And as we move to the bottom of the first, the Tigers out in front by a count of 2-0.
So let's take a look now at the lineup that the MacArthur Cardinals will throw up tonight. They'll lead things off with Maya Watkins. Batting second will be Casey Watkins. The shortstop hitting third will be Laken Woolover. And batting cleanup tonight will be Tori Morris. Number 5 hitter, Ashley Tegler. Number 10, Brianna Miller will hit 6. Jocelyn Martin will hit 7th. In the number 8 slot, Inez Hinojosa. Batting 9th, Kiona Brooks. Take a quick look at the defense now for the Irving Tigers. Madison, well, let's see. Let's start off at the pitching mound. There's Katie O'Leary. No, that's Mackenzie Goodman would be your pitcher. The catcher is Rayleigh Garza. The first baseman tonight, Morgan Wang. Second baseman, Alexis Cruz. The shortstop, Madison Goodman. And your third baseman, Daisy Martinez. A little bit of housekeeping going on right now at the pitcher's mound. Inside the circle, I guess, the rubber. In the outfield tonight, you will have Muna Yao in left field. The center fielder is Melissa Hantelman. And the right fielder is Katie O'Leary. Still doing a little repair to the pitcher's mound right now. As we review the stats of your pitcher tonight, Mackenzie Goodman, who has pitched 80 innings. She is their number 1 pitcher. A record of 6-6. Earned run average of 3.12. She has given up 98 hits in 80 innings. Does not give their strikeouts or walks in their pitching total, so I don't know what they are there. But evidently they don't like how things are there. They're too big of a hole, so they're adding some extra dirt just to make it a little easier for the Lady Tiger pitcher. And we're ready to go with the bottom of the first. Robert?
Maya Watkins will lead things off
Leading off from MacArthur, number 7.
for the Cardinals. Maya, a right-handed batter. We've seen nothing but right-handed batters thus far.
Usually a lot of teams have a couple of
Gals who bat left and try and beat out base hits.
slap the ball. Yeah.
So Goodman on the mound, her first pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. You can see the difference in these 2 pitches. This girl throws it up a lot faster. There's nothing so good as a pitcher that has speed on the ball as long as they have accuracy. Let up that time, and it's 1-1. Ball and a strike.
Well, absolutely. That control is what this game is about for a pitcher.
1-1 pitch, foul, out of play, and it'll be 1-2. Ricocheted off the dugout down the first baseline. The sun having set now in the west, the artificial lights taking effect. Pitch swung and a missed. And down goes Miss Watkins.
Now batting number 5, Casey Watkins.
Casey Watkins, the catcher, coming up. You know, we take these things for granted, night softball, night baseball, but there was a time when such a thing really didn't exist.
Especially at the high school level. I mean, professionals didn't get lights until what was it, 37?
1937, Cincinnati. Yep. First pitch way up high for a ball. 1-0.
There's Coach McTee. Going through the signs there. In his 5th year as a head coach.
Up high again, 2-0.
Well, there was a time that MacArthur and Irving both were revolving doors for coaches, but looks like they've settled down with both of these coaches here, Bob. Bring stability to a program.
The 2-0 pitch. In for a strike, 2-1. Getting back to the lights in Cincinnati, a lot of major league ballparks, and the owners had no interest in illuminating and having night games simply because of the cost of building the towers, the lights, and what have you. Here's a little number to the first baseman who will make the play unassisted, and they're 2 down. However, when they saw the crowds that were coming out in the nighttime to watch the games.
Yeah, here's people, they're not at work. They got
exactly.
They got time to actually go to a game.
Exactly, right. You know.
They grasped the obvious finally.
Yeah.
That a lot of people with money couldn't go during the day.
Lincoln Wollover will be our batter.
Look at that average. Over 600 this lady's hitting.
What a show off. That first pitch gets away from the catcher. It's a ball. 1-0 the count. Funny about night baseball now, it's so dominant in the Major League Baseball. You know, day games are a rarity. Pitch up high for a ball.
During the week, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember how reluctant the Chicago Cubs were to put lights in their field until
exactly, yeah.
They finally succumbed to it.
Here's a high fly ball out to right center field. The right fielder calling for it and drops it. The runner on her way to second base and will go in there with a 2-base error.
She just never really had a good view of it. Error on the right fielder.
So Tori Morris, the cleanup hitter, will come up. Tori is the first baseman, and she has an opportunity.
Watch O'Leary having problems over there in right field. I don't think she really knew where Hantelman was and got distracted and didn't look it into the glove.
Well, you can't blame it on the sun, that's for sure.
No.
That first pitch finds the mark, strike 1. Boy, how'd you like to be a Chicago Cub fan? Talk about agonizing. You know.
No, thank you. But it's been that way for a century, Bob.
Yeah. Yes, it has. Yeah. Pitch up high for a ball. George Will, very famous columnist, raconteur, was on a cable talk show the other day. I happened to see him, and he thinks that the Cubs, and he's been a long-time Cub fan, he thinks that eventually they'll probably do pretty well now because they've got some very good ownership. The Ricketts own it now. People who are deep-pocketed with money and big supporters of everything in Chicago. 1-2 the count.
Well, the Wrigley family of Wrigley Chewing Gum fame owned it for so many years, and they sold it to the Chicago Tribune.
That's pop foul. The first baseman over will have no play, and the 1-2 count holds.
The Tribune had a lot of money for a long time, but then the media business started going south. They just ain't selling as many newspapers, and the ratings are down in television. They own WGN.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Gets away from the catcher, and the runner will advance down to third base on the pass ball.
I like when the Tribune bought the company, and some people were poo-pooing it, and George Will saying, so who's to say that a media company can't do worse than a chewing gum company in running a baseball team?
Yeah.
The logic was absolutely correct.
Exactly. The 2-2 pitch on its way, and it goes back to the screen, fouled off the bat of our hitter. Well, you talk about media companies, I think the worst one of all was CBS and the Yankees.
Oh,
They
Lord.
sold the Yankees for $10 million.
Boy.
Incredible.
What a stupid business decision that was.
Oh, Lord, yes. And the pitch rolls away. That's a wild pitch. The runner will score, and it's a 2-1 ball game. So Lakin Rollover really has a charmed life. She gets on second when the right fielder drops her fly ball, advances to third on a pass ball, scores on a wild pitch. And it's 2-1.
We'll watch the wild pitch one more time. It's just a bad pitch and couldn't be blocked, and Woolover comes in to score.
Got to run strikes.
One pitch too late, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But the Cardinals come back with one in the bottom of the first. And we have ourselves a 2-1 ball game as we move to the top of the second inning.
Ever been to a game at Wrigley?
No, I never have.
It's
no?
it's a great place to go to a game.
Yeah, my grandson has been after me for a long time to go up there. He's a big baseball enthusiast. He's been up there on a couple of occasions, he and my daughter. My daughter knows absolutely nothing about baseball. But he's a big fan, as is his oldest son. They're really sports enthusiasts.
It's a great place to go to a baseball game, even if you do have to see the Cubs.
Well, I'm sure it has charm with the ivy all over the walls. You know.
All the neighborhood around it is great. Go in there before a ball game and go to some of the local pubs. And I remember my wife and I many years ago going to a place called the Cubby Bear Lounge.
The Cubby Bear Lounge.
Yeah, the Cubby Bear Lounge. We had a cup. We still do, I think. Those little plastic cups we brought home. And it's fun to be a Cardinal fan and go in there and they harass you. And
That used to be a really heated rivalry.
well, when the Cubs were good, but
Yeah.
of course the Cubs haven't been good that much. The Cardinals have.
When's the last time the Cubs won a pennant? What, 1945?
45, yeah.
45, yeah. Whoa. Talk about a long time. And, of course, the series not back since 1908. Okay, so here we go.
Yowl. Here's one of these right-handed hitters who switched over and is a slap hitter. Watch Muna Yowl.
Muna Yao. Slender girl, bats out of a crouch. Hinojosa way up at the third baseman. Pitch outside for a ball. 2-0.
Umpire has to keep an eye on these girls to make sure they're still in the batter's box when they're hitting the ball. Sometimes they run up so far that they can run out of the batter's box. Every now and then one of them will get called out.
That's ball 3.
Well, I see Maddie is still having problems with the control.
Oh, yes, most definitely. The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4.
None of them were really close either, Bob.
No. So that's the 5th walk that she's given up. She's faced, let's see now, 1, 2, 3, 4,
9
5,
hitters.
6, 7, 8, 9, and has walked 5 of the 9. We'll go to the top of the order with Madison Goodman.
Madison, a 279 average, 13 runs driven in.
It's a ground ball to the shortstop. They go to second for 1, and that'll do it.
Nice job.
Yeah, they get the lead runner. That's what you always want to do.
So Goodman reaches first on the fielder's choice.
And Ariana Garcia will be our batter. She, like so many of her teammates, walked in the first inning.
Nice job by Watkins to get over there in time to take that throw. And Woolover led her well. Good job by both those players. The keystone position.
Watkins swung way over. She's the second baseman, pitch up high for a ball. She's playing almost as if the batter was a left-handed pull hitter.
Yeah.
Unusual positioning.
Yeah, but she wants to be over there in case, there's a bunt or.
There's a little tapper. Going to be tough play. Good lightly throws. Not in time.
Base hit.
So it didn't travel very far, but it didn't have to, and Garcia legs it out for a hit. And we'll have runners at first and second with one out. And Daisy Martinez coming up right now.
Yeah, it's just about the same as a bunt, isn't it? Same result. Had to be handled perfectly. It wasn't. She did beat it anyway. And as Harry Carey, the old Cubs announcer, used to say, there's trouble here, Cherie.
That first pitch to Martinez, in for a strike. Martinez has the only hit in the game so far. She's down on the count, 0-1. Runners at first and second with one out. That pitch backs her away for a ball, 1-1 the count. Go lightly trying to get this ball in the strike zone. And here's one hit to Hinojosa, bobbles and can make no play. So that is a miscue by the third baseman. Ball was hit sharply, but she did have a play on it and just couldn't glove it adequately.
So it's an E5, and the bases are loaded with one out.
And Melissa Hantelman, the cleanup hitter, coming up. Hinojosa down there at third base must be thinking, can't they hit the ball to somebody else?
She has seen a number of balls come her way.
Boy, actually, yeah, really, we're just in the second inning here. Handelman sends a long drive, curving foul, and out of play.
Oh,
boy, she tomahawked that one.
Yeah, she did. She got a good swing at that one, just way out in front of it.
Outfield plays her
straight away.
Yeah, straight away.
Center fielder 2 steps over in center, but
there's that high pitch, 1-1. Well, the Irving Tiger players down on the bases, just licking their chops. They want to see Handelman get a hold of one here so they can start running around these bases and scoring some runs. The pitch popped it up, and that too will be out of play.
she had a pitch up and in that time, and they couldn't lay off of it. It was actually a ball, but so now she's down on the count 1-2.
Lightly braces and comes in with the pitch. A ground ball to the shortstop, off her glove. Everybody is safe. 1 run scores and everyone moves up 1 base.
We'll call it a hit.
Well, you would, I wouldn't.
You would?
No.
Show it again, Scott.
Sure.
Yeah, that's an error.
Yeah,
My
sure,
bad.
yeah. So it's a 3-1 ball game, and the bases remain loaded. So back-to-back miscues by the third baseman and shortstop.
Hantelman does get an RBI for that because the run would have scored anyway.
Right. Mackenzie Goodman coming up right now.
She's got a chance to
really help
this
her
game
cause.
wide open, doesn't she?
Yeah. Up on the count 1-0. And that pitch inside, 2-0. Boy, when your pitcher's having control problems and then your fielders are not helping her out here, does not make for a pleasant situation.
It has all the prescriptions for a route.
There's a high fly ball to center field. The center fielder waiting for it, makes the grab, Everyone, well, at least the runners at first holds up, and the runners at second and third advance, and it's an RBI, sacrifice fly, and a 4-1 ball game. So Goodman does exactly what she wanted to, drive in a run. And it's 4-1 with runners at first and third, and Justice Roja is the batter. A pitch inside, and Handelman doesn't draw a throw as she just cruises down to second base.
Taunting them all the way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I said
go ahead,
Handelman.
throw. Yeah,
Actually, that's Handelman down at second base now. Inside again, ball 2. Two and on the count to Rojo. That's down the pipe for a strike, 2-1. Wow, hitter. Hit batter. So the bases are loaded. And the first sacker, Morgan Wang, will be the batter.
And that's going to be it.
And we're going to have a new pitcher as you watch the hit batter right there.
We're going to change Goodman's.
No, don't think so. Go Lightly is the pitcher.
Oh, Woolover's
Woolover,
coming.
yeah.
Looking at the wrong thing here, aren't I?
So Golightly had her problems. Of course, the fielding miscues didn't help her at all. Just trying to figure out. I don't believe these 2 runs are going to be earned. Let me go back and look at the old scorecard here.
Well, the first
And
run's
no,
earned because it came home on the air to the shortstop. The runner would have scored anyway. Goodman, when Hantelman hit that ball to the shortstop, and the play was to third
yeah, that's
base.
right. That's right. Because that would have been the second out.
Right.
Correct. Okay, so.
And the second, well, the second one was a sac fly, so that's an earned run.
No.
Was there 2 out?
Yeah, it should have been 2 out because.
Well, no, that was the second out.
Okay.
So there was only 1 out. So
there's 1 out, but there should have been the second one when Daisy Martinez got on base with an error. She should have been retired. So the sacrifice fly would have been the 3rd out.
Okay.
So 1 earned run and 1 unearned run.
But the bottom line is it's 4-1, and
yeah.
unfortunately tonight that young lady just didn't have it out on the hill tonight. Maddie Golightly.
So Woolover, the pitcher, gets in there with a strike. You can tell on that very first pitch, she can throw the ball harder than can Miss Golightly. Fly ball to center field. The center fielder misjudged it back over her head. In comes 1 run. And they're going to hold up the runner down at third base. So it is a double. The center fielder came in on the ball and then to her chagrin realized, wait a second, that ball's going over my head. And it did. So it's not an error, but this is a ball that should have been caught. I mean, the ball's very well hit, no doubt about that.
Yeah. And just fortunately for the Tigers, or for the Cardinals, I should say, that Rojo, the runner down at first base, is just not a fast runner.
So Wang with the RBI, the double to center field. And here comes Rayleigh Garcia, the 9th batter, who drills one into center field for a base hit. In comes 1 run. Here comes a 2nd run. And the carnage continues. Boy, Rayleigh didn't waste much time at all. She just drilled that one into center, driving in 2 runs.
Watch it one more right down the middle, and
that ball smoked.
She just smokes at the right field, the center field, and the only play to the infield. As both Wang and Rojo came in to score. So now we have batted around here.
We have a courtesy runner down at first base. I did not see her number.
Yeah, Rayleigh's a catcher, so she and the pitcher are entitled to. That's Cruz.
Alexis Cruz is the courtesy runner. And Yao is the batter. She started this whole thing off by drawing a walk.
No, it can't be Cruz because she's number 11. I got the wrong roster here.
Alexis Cruz is number 2.
No, she's the second hitter. She wears number 11. You couldn't pinch run for right now anyway.
Pitch up high for a ball. You can pinch run for a catcher, can't you?
Yeah, but there's a good likelihood that the Cruz could be coming to the plate here, and there's 2 hitters.
Well, that is not Garza down at first base. Right. Alexis Cruz is the courtesy runner down at first base. The pitch in for a strike.
Huh. Then who's wearing number? I got the wrong number then. Imagine that.
So a runner at first. There are 2 outs. The pitch. Oh, wow. Again, nice play by the third sacker. Boy, she has really seen some tough shots.
Hinojosa did a good job there.
So the ball hit sharply. A nice play by Hinojosa. 6 runs score for the Irving Tigers. And they lead it by a count of 8-1 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Well, that inning had just about everything. Wild pitch, pass ball, hit batter, base hits, walks.
Yeah. And unfortunately, all of them were bad for MacArthur.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's the funny thing about this type of a game, softball, and obviously true about baseball as well. You can go sometimes and everyone hits the ball well. And you just have one of these games where no one seems to make out. Everyone is just kissing the ball. And then maybe the very next game, no one can get a hit. Can't even get a foul ball. It's funny how the game just goes back and forth sometimes.
Yeah. That's why it makes it such a. I don't understand the people who bet sports. I mean, it's kind of crazy, really, when you get right down to it.
Well, I guess it's like anything else. You look at the teams and you look at the odds, and you figure, is it worth your endeavor to try and pick up some money? Let's face it, anyone who bets thinks they're going to win.
Well,
no one bets thinking, well, I'm going to lose this money. That pitch is swung and fouled off.
Tegler, Brianna Miller, and Jocelyn Martin, the hitters here in the home half of the second inning.
Ashley Tegler is the designated hitter, and obviously the young lady is not superstitious, wearing number 13. Pitch way up high for a ball. Goodman on the mound in the driver's seat. Here's one hit out to center field and in for a base hit. So that's the first hit of the night for the MacArthur Cardinals. Produced by the designated hitter.
Little Texas leaguer that falls in there.
Brianna Miller is our batter. She is the left fielder. Going up high for a ball. The Irving Tigers with a district record of 4-2. That pitch swung and a missed. Irving has, looking at what they've done in the district, they've scored some big runs here. They scored 10 against Nimitz, 6 against Grapevine, 26 against R.L. Turner.
Yeah, everyone scores double figures against Turner, though.
9 against Trinity. So this is a team that can score some runs, and it shows they're doing it right now.
That's why you can't give them any help with the walks and the errors.
Yeah. That one's slice foul out of play. We're in the bottom of the second inning here at the MacArthur campus. The Cardinals up against the Irving Tigers, and the Tigers lead it by a count of 8-1. Have a 2-2 count on the batter. And she's caught looking. Strikeout number 2 for Goodman. Jocelyn Martin, the right fielder, will come up, left-handed batter.
Yeah, one of the dreaded backward Ks, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's a tapper to the first baseman, who'll make the play unassisted. Thought about throwing down to second, and then figured, nah, I guess not.
I got what I needed out of it, and even though Miller, or I should say Tegler's not a fast runner, decided, you know what, we'll just be satisfied with one. Plus, she had to worry about hitting her, too, from that angle.
So you got 2 down, and Hinojosa is the batter. Boy, she's earned this at bat, I'll tell you, with all the shots that they've been sending at her. Defensively, she's played well. That pitch in for a strike. That's why they call it the hot corner, third base.
Especially in this game because you're playing way in all the time.
Right, trying to prevent the bunt, or at least defend against it. That pitch in again, strike 2. Tegler down at second base. And Hinojosa takes one outside for ball, 1-2. Interesting that time the catcher, just before the pitch was delivered, moved a little bit to the outside corner. And that's just where the ball was thrown. Watch what she's doing right there, see? Almost as if it was a pitch out. Now we're back live, and that's 2-2.
Yeah, and she's out of the catching box, too.
Good work by our technical crew, as always, picking that one up. Thank you, guys.
Deuce is wild.
Yep, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's a little chop foul. A lot of spin on that ball. It started out in fair territory and then just moved into foul territory.
Kind of like a Massey shot in pool.
You ever play billiards?
No, I never played billiards. No, I played lots of pool.
That pitch on the inside corner. So Goodman records 2 strikeouts in the inning, both looking. MacArthur has 1 hit, 1 base runner left on. And after 2 innings of play, it's the Tigers 8, the Cardinals 1.
We have played 2 innings of action here at Irving High, or at MacArthur High, I should say, as the Irving Tigers leading by a score of 8-1, and they have just been too much so far. The problems have been the Cardinals themselves. Too many walks, too many errors. Here once again, Bob Berry.
Madison Goodman, the shortstop, leads things off here in the 3rd inning. Show you the kind of game this has been as she takes a called strike. She's been up 3 times, and we're here in the 3rd inning. She's grounded out twice, once to the third baseman and bounced into a fielder's choice to the shortstop. The 0-1 pitch on its way down low, 1-1 the count. Licking well over in relief, delivers in a long fly ball to center field. Center fielder backing up, can't make the play. And Goodman going to go in for a double.
And she didn't miss a home run by much, did she?
No.
The wind blowing in from that particular area may have held it up, don't know. But it was hit over her head, so we'll give her a double all the way. And now they're going to switch the center fielder and the left fielder there.
Now hitting number 11, Ariana Garza.
Ariana Garcia is the batter, her teammate down at second base. Ariana pops one up in the right field. The right fielder coming over, center field over. They collide. The ball is caught. And now the young lady who caught the ball is down.
Well, she was
Yeah,
hit
not
hard,
feeling
yeah.
Too good, yeah.
Jonah Hernandez. Jana is, I was wondering about that collision, Bob. That was kind of nasty. You see it every now and then in the game as the center fielder and the right fielder go after it. Hernandez does hang on to it. It looked like the center fielder, yeah.
It's Morton with the ball. So they are attending to the outfielder there. Jocelyn Martin, the right fielder. Well, she paid the price for making that catch. That's another one here where, and realize that the center fielder, they just moved her into center field. She had been playing left field. This is one of these things, and you see this in the major leagues as well, where your outfielders, both of them feel, well, I'm going to catch this ball, and for whatever reason they don't call it, call one or the other off, and then you every now and then have a collision, as we saw just there.
I'm sorry, yeah, Jonna Martin. Glad to see her up and moving. Let's watch it one more time. As Miller and Martin run into one another there, and fortunately, she's up and looks like she'll be okay.
Well, the ball was caught, and then tagging up at second and moving to third was Madison Goodman.
Miller, by the way, had just moved over
Yes.
from left field to center field.
Exactly. Here's Daisy Martinez. And first pitch, high and away, ball one.
Daisy 1 out of 2 had an infield single and reached on an error.
Inside, 2-0. That's fouled off, and we have a 2-1 count. Seeing these two young ladies collide out there in the outfield, realize how every now and then this can be a pretty tough game. But boy, look at all the injuries that the Rangers have had, and has nothing to do with body contact. There's a ball by the first baseman up in the right field for a base hit. So Martinez, who is really a very good hitter for her team, gets an RBI. Goodman comes in, and it's a 9-1 ball game. Watch this one right there.
Slaps it past the first baseman. And easy job for Goodman to come in and score.
And Hantelman coming up now, the cleanup hitter. She's walked and reached base on a miscue by the shortstop, so she's 0 for 1.
Scored twice, has an RBI.
There's a long fly ball to left field. Left fielder back and makes the grab. Nice play. So the left fielder had been the center fielder, and she was having some troubles making those plays. Kiana Brooks, but Kiana handled that one very well.
Watch it one more time. Hantelman just doesn't hit it perfect to get it out of here. Hit it a long way. But Brooks comes in and makes the play, and there's 2 out.
And Mackenzie Goodman is the batter. She'll pop that one foul, back all over the screen, strike 1. Look at all these injuries that the Texas Rangers have had.
Now Yu Darvish isn't going to start the season.
Yeah, right. He's got a neck problem.
3 of the starting pitchers, the highest paid starting pitchers of the Rangers, aren't going to be there on opening day. There's a base hit that drops in.
Little Looper in for a base hit. So Mackenzie Goodman signaling to center field. We'll have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Justice Rojo will be the batter.
Now batting number 20, Justice Rojo.
Plus, you've lost your starting catcher. You've lost your starting second baseman.
Keep it up, you'll lose your mind.
It's been known to happen.
Yeah, definitely. First pitch to Rojo, down low for a ball.
Justice has walked. She's been hit by a pitch. She scored a run. She has an RBI. Just about everyone in the lineup has contributed in some way tonight for Lady Tigers.
Slashes one to left field. Brooks coming over, but it's a foul ball and she cannot get to it. So Rojo hit it well, but could not keep it in fair territory. One to one the count to the batter. There's one slash to left field. Brooks comes over and makes the play. Again, a nice defensive play by Brooks in left field. So obviously moving her to center field to left has really paid off.
Watch it one more time here. Line drive, but Brooks is there. And makes the easy play, and they get 1 run on 3 hits, and it's a 9-0 ball. Or
9 to 1. Yep.
Right.
There you see it.
Uno there.
See that line score: 9 runs, 8 hits, and 1 rescue for the Tigers. A run, a hit, and 3 errors.
Irving's finest here. Obviously smart men. They've got the warm weather stuff here, the stocking caps on, the heavier jackets. Because it has cooled down. Temperature says 59, ain't 59 no more.
No, well, the sun's down, so it's going to cool off. Clear. They're calling for a low of about 44 tonight.
And the smart people brought the heavier stuff, and you always see those that, well, didn't bring the heavier stuff.
You wonder what these police officers would be wearing if they were in Chicago right now. Boy, I mean.
Parkas. Oh, what a miserable year it's been in the Windy City.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Miserable
Yes,
winter.
yeah,
Oh. And there's still snow up in the east, in Washington, D.C.
Right.
A friend of mine posted a picture. It's
Leading off
still snow there.
number 14, Kiana Brooks.
23 days in Chicago of below 0 weather. They've gotten over 6 feet of snow.
Chicago, no thank you. Got some great places to eat there, but I'll wait till the summertime to go there.
Kiana Brooks, the left fielder who's made 2 nice plays in the top of the inning, is now the batter and takes that first pitch inside for a ball. Again, shortens up the bunt and misses, strike 1. Funny, as far as this young lady is concerned, she had difficulty judging balls in center field, so they moved over to left, and then in left field she had no problems at all.
No. Some people are like that.
Again, she shows bunt, fouls it off. 1-2 the count.
Probably swinging now. If she tries to bunt and it goes foul, she will be out. Bunting on a 3rd strike.
Goodman's pitch, and she's caught looking. So Brooks is the 3rd batter for the Cardinals who've been caught looking in the last inning and a 3rd.
5th strikeout of the ball game.
We move to the top of the order, and Maya Watkins, who started things off for her team by striking out swinging in the bottom of the 1st. She's one of the 5 strikeout victims. That first pitch down low for a ball.
Noticed a little hesitancy there as she kind of stepped in the bucket a bit.
Here's a little tapper out to the second baseman. Backhands it, throws, and the throw is high.
B&E 4. Not handled well at second base here by Cruz.
Let's see this play. Here's the second baseman making it. Backs up, throws.
She double clutched. And
you know what? I think the runner beat the throw. If we get a chance, let's see if we can see that.
well, that's because she double clutched.
Here's a pop up, and first baseman's got it. So Casey Watkins wasting no time.
Watch it again. Watch her double clutch when she picks it up. She hesitated at one moment, and that would have cost her.
See, the base runner's already hit the base before the first baseman got the ball on the glove, or the glove on the ball, as the case may be. Lincoln Willover, who started this game at shortstop and then has moved in as relief pitcher, takes that first one down low for a ball. Down low again, ball two. Boy, you're looking at Ariana Garcia, the second baseman there for the Tigers. Makes me wonder who's going to be playing second base for the Rangers now that Profar is out for about 10 to 12 weeks. Ground ball, foul. 2-1 the count.
Good question. I'm sure the Rangers are asking themselves the same thing.
Exactly.
They got a hot shot. I can't even pronounce his name. Who's who they're looking at, but I just don't think they want to bring him up this early.
No, it's Ogar.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Viking name.
2-1 the count. Yeah, he's going to start in Frisco. Here's a looper in the center field. That'll drop for a base hit. The center fielder drops the ball, and going into second base on the miscue by the center fielder very alertly is Rollover.
So it'll be a single and an error.
So the Cardinals have runners at second and third with two outs. You watch the replay here.
Hantelman comes in and mishandles the ball.
Just dropped out of her glove. Whoops.
And that allowed the runner to move up from first to second. And that is why she gets hit with that error.
Tori Morris, the first sacker, will be the batter.
Cardinals have a chance to chip away at this lead here if Miss Morris can deliver.
That first pitch to Morris is up high for the ball. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Down low, 2-0.
Yeah, the Rangers have lost Yu Darvish. Harrison still isn't ready. Holland still recovering from knee surgery. It doesn't leave him with a lot of options.
Down again low, ball three. So Goodman having control problems now with runners at second and third. She goes to the back of the mound. Gets a little bit of dirt on that pitching hand. And now is ready to go. And that's in for a strike, 3-1.
Naturally taken all the way on 3-0 because you need runners right now. I would assume she has the hack sign, being the number 4 hitter in the lineup.
The 3-1 pitch. Drilled left center field, base hit, going to drive in a pair.
Boy, she
goes
hacked
all the
it
way
good.
to the fence. So it's a 2-run double, and it's a 9-3 ball game.
Boy, Morris was sitting on it, got the pitch she wanted, and just ripped it. That time all the way to the fence as both Watkins and Woolover come in to score. And they only trail by 6 right now to the Lady Cardinals. Let's watch it again as she gets one right about chest high, and no doubt about that one.
Ashley Tegler is the batter. First pitch is in for a strike. Ashley, back in the second inning, got her team's first base hit with a single into center field. And she'd like to replicate that right now. Driving her teammate. Nice stop by Goodman. Throws to first, and the side is retired. Boy, Ashley almost got that one by the pitcher and into center field for a base hit. However, Goodman was up to the occasion, made the stop. 2 runs for MacArthur in the bottom of the 3rd, and after 3 full innings of play, the Tigers up by a count of 9-3.
Well, it has been an interesting ball game so far. As the Lady Tigers jumping up on with that 6th spot there in the 2nd inning. That is the difference in this ball game right now. So we'll see if the Lady Cards can come back here. The Cards defeated MacArthur 32-15. Got defeated by Trinity 9-4. Defeated Nimitz 11-7. They were shut out by Heritage 16-zip. Lost to Bell 19-8. And lost to Grapevine 12-11.
A lot of scoring.
And here's what the Tigers have done this year in district play, as Bob has already mentioned.
R.O. Turner.
They are bad in just about everything, aren't they?
You know, and I wonder why. I mean,
well, it's just it's primarily a move-in district, kind of like Ranchview, I think, and you know, just mostly Latinos, and they just have not done well in all the sports. I mean,
well, you know,
football they've been awful.
Yeah, you know, you think about it.
I don't know what they've done in soccer, but
I mean, Latinos, you know, do pretty well in baseball.
Yeah, but you know, it depends on the neighborhood and the environment and stuff too. You know, how many have to work and.
True. So here we go to Morgan Wang, who takes their first pitch inside for a ball. Must be very discouraging for the kids. You know, they try so hard and just cannot produce. Pitch in for a ball. Or conversely, you can look at it, you know, you lose big and you figure, hey, we were lousy, we deserve to lose. As opposed to losing 2-1 where you play the game over in your mind constantly. You know.
Yeah, but if you're losing every night by 15 runs, it's a little hard to,
yes, it is.
to get yourself up.
Yeah. 2-1 the count to Morgan Wang. Drills left field, base hit. If you like offense in softball, you're seeing it tonight.
Well, Morgan is 2 for 2. She has a walk, a double, and a single, and she's really gotten some big hits here the last 2 times. She's gotten some good swings.
Rayleigh Garza comes up right now. Rayleigh is 1 for 2. Bounced into a fielder's choice and then single to center field. Pops out one to right field. The right fielder waits and makes the grab. So first ball swinging. Garza is retired. And that'll take us down to the number 9 hitter, Muna Yao.
Well, a big difference right now, Bob, is Willover's throwing strikes.
Yes. It does make a difference, doesn't it? Yeah. That first pitch up high for a ball.
Yao walked and grounded out last inning.
Yeah, she got up twice in the same inning.
Second, excuse me.
Yao that time running up on the ball as if she was going to bunt. Didn't bunt, but took it for a strike. I say she took it for a strike. The scoreboard put up ball 2. No, it is a strike.
Oh, he called a strike. Yeah.
Now there is the bunt. Pitcher up with it, goes second base. Nicely done.
Nice job.
Good place by Rollover. Fielded her position.
Well, Wang just doesn't run all that well. Watch it one more time here, as there's not even close at second base.
So 2 outs to the top of the order we go with Madison Goodman.
Now batting number 1, Madison Goodman.
Pitch is taken for a ball. Yao that time looked as if she might be breaking to second base, but thought better of it and got back to the sack. Now Yal is going to steal the base.
Yep, not a strong throw that time, and Yal had it easily stolen. Now in scoring position with 2 out, and Goodman with a chance at a ribby here. She is 1 for 3 tonight, is Madison.
The offset when fouled. Back to the screen. Madison, 2 groundouts and a double to center field. Over trying to get the 3rd out in this inning. Not on that one, though. That's a drive that's going to go all the way to the wall in center field.
Boy, look at Goodman run.
She'll hold up with a double.
Good job of getting that ball in.
Yeah. So Madison Goodman has back-to-back doubles, drives in a run, and the Tigers now lead it 10-3.
Really good job by the defense here of getting over and cutting this ball. Because, I mean, Goodman was really motoring. But they get this ball in quick, hit the cutoff men.
Goodman now has 16 doubles for the year. You can see why. She can run very well, and obviously she can hit the ball well, too. Nice combination. Ariana Garcia, the second baseman, is up there right now. Wanted to pull the trigger that time and kind of disappointed with herself that she didn't. She had that big grimace on her face because she didn't swing at it. 1-1 the count. Goodman, the base runner at second with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. That's fouled back out of play. The Tigers with a 7-run lead. They're out in front by a count of 10-3. Hot shot right up the middle for a base hit. Goodman with speed on her way to the plate. She'll score, and it's an 11-1 ball game, 11-3 ball game, as Garcia comes through with her second base hit of the night. Good hit.
Right down the middle, just slaps it right up the middle. And not much they could do about it. Goodman, as Bob mentioned, with good speed, easily scores. And it's 11-3.
And Daisy Martinez coming up right now. Daisy has 2 base hits. She's 2 for 3, 2 singles. And a pitch inside for a ball. Well, one thing about the Tigers, they have scored in every inning thus far. 2 in the first, 6 in the second, 1 in the third. They have 2 more here in the 4th for a total of 11. That gets away from the catcher. And moving down to second base is Garcia.
So now Martinez with a chance to add an extra run here with a runner in scoring position.
Fly ball, right field. The right fielder's got room, got the ball, and the side is retired. But another productive inning for the Irving Tigers as they score 2 more. And as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning, it's the Tigers of Irving 11 and the MacArthur Cardinals 3.
Yeah, the Cardinals, the Tigers, I mean, are impressive the way they hit the ball. I mean, they attack the ball. Although they're smart enough to be hitters, Bob, as we've seen in the first 2 innings, just to, if you're not going to throw me a strike, I'm not going to swing at bad pitches.
Exactly, yep.
It's pretty much been Irving in this series. Irving and MacArthur over the years. Last year, Irving winning both the ball games. And in 2012, Irving splitting with Mac. And splitting again in aught 11. And then Irving the year before that winning. And Irving has won 15 out of the last 18 ball games these 2 teams have played. MacArthur problems, but looks like they've got a little more stability, as I mentioned, with with the coaching. Same for Irving.
Well, they used to have a saying, and I'm sure they still do, nothing succeeds like success. If you can build a program that's doing well, you have kids who want to come out and play for you.
Right.
Correspondingly, if you're just having one loss after another, one losing season after another, a lot of the kids just figure, you know what, I think I'll just look at my PlayStation.
Either that or
waste
they'll
my time?
transfer somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's lead off.
First pitch of the bottom of the fourth inning is popped up. So going after was Brianna Miller, and she pops out to the shortstop.
Looking at that last picture we had, looks like they're drinking up a lot of hot cocoa here tonight. Which actually sounds pretty good. Looks like we got a pinch hitter here. That's Martin is a hitter. No, that's Jocelyn Martin is a hitter. I think she batted right-handed earlier, didn't she? I'm not sure.
I don't think she batted left-handed, no. Although I do believe she's a left-handed thrower. This is the young lady who collided with the center fielder. That
Right.
was down for a little bit. 2-0 the count. Make it 2-1.
Didn't get the umpire's name tonight at home plate, but he's done a good job calling ball strikes, I think.
Held up and takes it for a strike, 2-2.
I like umpires who make the kids swing the bat. If it's a borderline pitch, looks like this guy's going to call him a strike.
That one's up high. Oh.
That wasn't borderline.
No, not close to it. 3-2 the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, the Tigers out in front by a count of 11-3. And Martin stays alive by fouling that one off. Mackenzie Goodman delivers. And again, it's fouled off. Martin making life miserable for Mackenzie. Again, the full count pitch. And again, it's fouled. This one slash fouled on the third baseline. Martin's hanging tough. Martin 0 for 2 was called out on strikes. I beg your pardon, 0 for 1. She grounded out to the first baseman in her sole appearance thus far. But she's had a good at bat this time. And she'll draw the walk.
Good job of hitting.
Yeah, she earned it.
She finally just wore Goodman down.
Now batting number 11,
Inez Hinojosa coming up. So you're taking some practice swings.
Looking down for a sign.
First pitch in for a strike. One of the things down through the years that's always amused me is when you see some players who constantly, in between pitches, swinging the bat. Then when they get in the batter's box, they never take the bat off their shoulder. Ground ball in right field, base hit.
They're going to have to hold Martin at first because she had to hold up and wait for the ball to go in front of her. So that lost her about 3 or 4 strides. And Hinojosa singles. And you have runners at first and second. With 1 out. Right down the middle there. She slaps it to right. And you saw Martin had to hold up just for a moment to let the ball go by.
Going to have a pinch hitter, Bonnie Priam, coming up now. She'll be batting for Kiana Brooks. Brookshire, first time up, tried to bunt twice unsuccessfully and then was called out on strikes. So we'll see what Priam can do. And she'll take that first pitch for a strike. Pitch down low for a ball. The Cardinals, down by 8, have runners at first and second with 1 out. And Priam, the pinch hitter, has a count of 1-1. Make it 1-2. Goodman has struck out 5 batters thus far. The 1-2 pitch, way outside, 2-2. But the last 8 batters that Goodman has faced, none of them have struck out. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Priam, the pinch hitter, and that's 3-2. Fly ball to right field and over the right fielder's head, so the pinch hitter comes through.
Priam has to go back because the runner at first base, Hinojosa, for some reason didn't go to third base.
Priam, the single to right field, drives in 1. It's now an 11-4 ball game, so very nice job by Priam this time. Coming through. Little inside out swing, and you can see the over the right fielder's head.
I don't know what Hinojosa was thinking there, but because she should be on third right now.
And we move to the top of the order with Maya Watkins. She's down on the count, 0-1. Pitch inside for a ball. That's flipped away, foul for a strike. 1-2.
Be in somebody's backyard.
Now Goodman with the pitch. Popped up. Center fielder calling for it. Makes the grab. And they're 2 down. Two down, and this will bring up the catcher, Casey Watkins. Casey wants to continue this inning. Get on base, maybe drive in a runner or 2. Goodman would just as soon that the inning end with this batter. That first pitch in for a strike. Wild pitch, throw down to third base, not in time.
Third baseman is in so far, there was no chance.
Exactly. So both runners advancing on the wild pitch. Good throw by the catcher, by the way. She really aced it down there.
Yeah, Martinez, though, is so far in at third base that there's really not a good opportunity for her to get the out at third.
So runners are at second and third.
Yeah, it looks like they're got a jammed shoulder on Hinojosa there. Or a hand or a wrist or something there.
You would think a wrist. She went in head first.
Either that or they're playing rock, paper, scissors to See who buys pizza tonight.
So with runners at second and third, Casey Watkins up there. And she'll take the pitch for a strike.
Let's watch how she hits this bag here. Oh, yeah. The right hand you can see really. Called strike.
2-2 the count. And I don't know whether you noticed that or not, but as she went in, those fingers are extended. It's an easy way to break a finger when you're sliding into a bag like that. Here's a hot shot to the second baseman, makes a play to first. The side is retired. Watkins hit it well, but unfortunately for her, right to the second Zacher who made the play. So for the Tigers, they pick up a run in the bottom of the fourth, and after 4 innings of play, it's Irving 11, the Cardinals 4. We'll be back in a moment.
We are at the top of the 5th inning of action here. The Lady Tigers with a comfortable lead now, 11-7, looking to add to it, or 11-4, excuse me, looking to add to it right now. And here once again is Bob Berry.
Melissa Hantelman leads things off. She is the cleanup hitter. She is 0 for 2 tonight. Has walked, reached base on an error, and then flied out to the left fielder.
Hinojosa's out of the ballgame, by the way, at third base. They have brought in number 12 to play third.
Julia Golightly.
So evidently that wrist bothering her. So Julia Golightly now your third baseman. Boy, they gave her plenty of protection too.
Yeah, well, look at that. She's got the face mask that I saw. I saw what happened to the other third baseman.
Yeah.
Can I have a chest protector, please?
Now it's time for a conversation here.
Well, the conversation's between the coach and the home plate umpires, you can see right there.
So they're talking over who is playing what positions and stuff like that right now.
If you're wondering why the delay here, generally speaking, you'll have the public address announcer let the crowd know of these changes. That's not the case here. And by the same token, so the coaches don't.
Well, yeah, in high school sports, they rarely do that as far as signaling to the stadium announcer. Whoa!
Handelman, a bullet out in the left field for a base hit.
Golightly's parents are saying, yeah, glad you have that face mask on.
Exactly.
I mean, Melissa just hit an absolute bullet about 3 feet to the left of Golightly there.
Now batting number 7, Mackenzie Goodman.
Mackenzie Goodman is the batter. She is 1 for 2. High pop fly, the shortstop back, waits, falls down, but makes the catch.
All right, good job. Maya Watkins with a fine play down there at shortstop. It wasn't pretty, was it, Maya? But heck, you got the job done, girl.
Yeah, she made the catch, yeah.
That's one she'll want to keep for the highlight reel, won't it?
Justice Rojo is the batter. Takes that first pitch in for a strike.
Justice is lined out, has been hit by a pitch and scored, and also walked. Has 2 RBIs. No, has 1 RBI.
It's a ground ball to the shortstop. Goes to second for the force, back to first. They got the double play.
They did. Rojo doesn't run well. And there you see it, 6-4-3. They turn the twin bill. And we are headed now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's watch it one more time off the end of the bat. They make the first one, and a good turn there. And a double play. Pitcher's best friend.
Think the throw got her at first base? That was real close.
It was.
There you see our situation, 11-4. Notice all the errors, 6 of them thus far. And notice all the hits, 17.
Hasn't been clean, but and we are ready for the bottom of the 5th. They will come up with Lake and Willover, Tori Morris, and Ashley Tegler. Cardinals will here in the home half of the 5th inning.
Lincoln Woolover, who will lead things off for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 5th, has been up twice. She scored once, got on base with an error, and then she got herself a base hit. Takes that first pitch down low for a ball. Lincoln started the game as the shortstop and then came in to relieve. It's a tapper to the shortstop. The long throw. Boy, good throw. Close play.
Long, good throw there.
Yeah.
Goodman with a strong arm. Madison Goodman.
Yeah.
Watch it one more time here as Goodman up in one motion, throws, fires a shot, and it wasn't close. Good play there. Good play there by Madison Goodman, the shortstop.
The batter is Tori Morris, who's ahead of the count now, 1-0. It's a looper out in the left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. The left fielder very nonchalantly throws the ball under the shortstop. And very alertly, the batter goes down to second for a double.
That's good heads-up running by Morris. You called it exactly correct, rather nonchalantly, and Morris took advantage of that nonchalantness, if that's a word.
It is now.
It is now. Ralph Kiner's dead, so now somebody's got to pick up for him, don't they?
So a runner on second, and Ashley Tegler is the batter. She'll foul off that first pitch, strike one.
Ralph Kiner, the former Pittsburgh Pirates slugger who later became a New York Mets announcer and was famous for all of his gaffes all the time on the air, but he was a colorful, fun old guy and was a heck of a baseball announcer.
There's a base hit into center field off the second baseman's glove, and it's an 11-5 ball game. So Tegler, the DH, comes up with her second hit.
And that effort by Morris paid off, didn't it, Bob?
Sure did.
That hustle.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch it again here with a base hit. Just right down the middle. She gets it up there. Nice effort, but just past the glove. And that allowed Morris to come in the score. So the RBI for Tegler. And this will bring up Brianna Miller.
Miller is 0 for 2 tonight. Takes that first pitch in for a strike. That pitch down low for a ball. We have had 10 half innings of play. 5 for the visitors, 5 for the home. And out of those 10, only 2 of them have not seen a run score.
It has been an offensive game, to say the least. And that big second inning, the difference so far, Bob.
Yeah, the 6 runs.
And we are going to have, what, a pinch hitter or pinch runner?
A
here?
runner,
Yeah.
Runner for Tegler. Coming in a run will be Danielle Carr, a junior. So Danielle down there at first base.
Want that extra speed so she doesn't get eliminated on the base pass. Tegler, who doesn't run all that well.
There's a ground ball right up the middle into center field. Another base hit. Well, one thing about Goodman, she's not fooling anybody right now.
No.
She started off pitching very well, but I get the impression that she's a little bit tired, perhaps.
I don't know, Bob. I mean, some of these have just been kind of seeing eye base hits. It's not like they're really ripping the ball.
Well, let's see. She had first 9 batters she faced, struck out 5 of them. There is a shot in for another base hit. There's a runner coming down to third. She'll go as the third baseman cannot hold on to the ball.
That'll be an E5.
A double for Brianna Miller. So double, single, double.
No. Martin didn't. She got the double. Miller had a single, right?
Morris
Miller's
a double.
on third, yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been out, but
Dropped the ball.
yep. So Miller down at third, Martin with a double. Gets the RBI. And now we're having a little conversation here among the Cardinals as, they're being kind of reminding one another, we can still lose this ball game.
The way they're playing right now, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
But, I mean, there's a lot of hits just kind of, drop-in hits. I mean, it's not like they're rip jobs. So this is Julia Golightly. Took over for Inez Hinojosa, who was injured last inning, sliding into third base.
The point I was trying to make about the pitcher, first 9 batters she faced, struck out 5 of them. She's gone 16 batters without striking out anybody. 1-1 now the count to Golightly. So something's going on there.
Well, that, and they're just getting a second and third chance to see her pitch, too.
Pitch foul back. 1-2 the count. Inside, 2-2. This is Golightly's first time up.
Only one out.
Pitch inside for a ball, and we have ourselves a full count. And that's ball 4. Still think she's getting tired. So he got the bases loaded.
Well, I don't know if she's tired or not, but she's losing effectiveness, that's for sure. And now we're going to have another pinch hitter here or a pinch runner, I'm not sure. T came over and
It's Kiana Brooks who's batting.
right, she's come back into the ball game. But she was in the ball game anyway. You saw her in left field, right?
Yeah. Prim pinched hit for her last inning. Now she's up there and takes that first pitch. So the bases are loaded, and this young lady has a good opportunity to make this a very close ball game.
Infield has come in.
Pitch swung and a miss.
The outfield is also in a few steps as well.
Would you have the infield playing in now?
Yeah.
Pitch in, strike 2. See, I would.
Well, this is a number 9 hit. So
You got a 5-run lead. It's not like you got to prevent this runner from scoring. You got a 5-run lead, and the number 9 hitter's up there, and that's why she's the number 9 hitter down on
There you go.
strikes.
they're down there for a reason.
Yeah.
So now they'll go back into their normal positions.
So Mackenzie Goodman records her 6th strikeout. We go to the top of the batting order. This is Maya Watkins. Bases remain loaded. And that one's fouled off. Strike one. One of the nice things about softball, and for that matter baseball, is you can always second guess the managers what they're doing.
Oh, sure. That's the beauty of the game.
Nice play by the catcher that time, preventing that ball going all the way back to the screen. A ball and a strike on Watkins. Strike two. Watkins is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out, reached base on an error, and then flied out to the center fielder. Boy, time for her to be a big hero right now. She'd come through with a clutch base hit for her team.
She did.
And the center fielder comes over, makes the grab.
That ball just carried. It looked like it was going to be a base hit, but it just kind of drifted out there. Oh, what a break that time for Irving. Good pitch outside. She slapped at the center.
And there's your center fielder putting it away. Center fielder who's also your cleanup hitter, Handelman.
So they get 2 more runs.
So the Tigers come back with 2, and after 5 full innings of play, I beg your pardon, the Cardinals come back with 2. It's the Tigers 11 and the Cardinals 6.
I think time now to have a little flashback. I've had flashbacks many times in my life.
I bet you have.
I have there. There have been some bad nights there, Bob. But this is from 2011. This was a good night. Lady Cardinals looking to break their 10-game losing streak to the Lady Tigers. It was tied a run all in the 6th. Casey Watkins delivers a base hit to left field. Haley Manson comes in from second base. It's 2-1 at that point, back on top. And then back blows it open, top of the 7th. Lauren Estrada sends one to right center field. Emily Baruter races around from second base. Estrada legs it out for a triple, just does get in there. And Mac defeats Irving for the first time in 5 years by a score of 5-1. A little bit of action here when these seniors, I guess, were what, sophomores? Freshmen?
Well, a young lady who got that real big hit, Baruter, we saw her brother playing just the other week.
That's right.
Second baseman. Athleticism runs in the Baruter family. Funny how that really happens when you think about it. You know, you just have some people, bloodlines, just good athletically, you know, and then you have other people, you know, just not so good athletically.
Well, I remember the Fuller family down at Nimitz.
Florida?
No, the Fuller family. Philip Fuller and who's the other quarterback? Scott, help me here. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Preston Fuller, yeah. Who was a quarterback and defensive back and played college ball.
High fly ball to right field. Then that's one away.
And Philip Fuller was one of the most exciting running backs we've ever seen among the 3 Irving schools. Went to Wisconsin on a football scholarship, but he had ripped up his knee and just wasn't the same.
That was it, yeah. Muna, let's see who is coming up here. Who is this young lady?
Called strike there. Number 16, that's Garza. Catcher. Remember back a few years ago, we had the Hotchkiss family at Irving.
Pitch up high for a ball.
Of course, the Delatoris had a lot of.
Well, Mike Farter's sons played football.
3 very good sons who played football.
Pitch down low, 2-1 the count. It's up high, ball 3.
Whoa.
A long fly ball to left field. Back goes Brooks and can't make the catch. Chucking in to second base is Garza.
Rayleigh just had a good rip at that one. Didn't carry as much as I thought it was, and perhaps to Brooks in left field didn't think so as well. Could have been caught, but we'll give her a double anyway. Garza's going to stay out there and run anyway. She could get a courtesy runner if she wanted.
Muna Yao is the batter. Takes that first pitch for a strike. She's bounced out, hit into a fielder's choice, walked, and has stolen a base. Runs up on it again and watches it go in for strike two. Oh, and 2 the count. Pull over his pitch. Little high, 1-2 the count.
I guess it's Muna's mom who's right in front of us, who's got her cell camera up, taking pictures of this.
Got her on strikes.
Won't want to keep that one.
So they're 2 down, and Madison Goodman, the leadoff hitter, comes up again. Boy, she's been busy. She's 2 for 4, got a pair of doubles and 2 groundouts. Outfield plays her fairly deep. Big hole in left center field. Big gap between the left fielder and the center fielder. 1-0 the count. This young lady leads the team in doubles. She has 16, 2 of them coming in tonight's game. Good pitch for a strike, 1-1. Wow.
Interesting.
2-1. I don't think that was a letter pitch so much as it just slipped out of her hands.
Is that the Eufus?
No, it'd have to be up high, about 12 feet. That's a little tapper foul. Good try by the first baseman coming over trying to grab the ball, but couldn't quite get to it.
Tori with a good hustle down there.
Tori Morris, the first baseman. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th inning, the Irving Tigers leading the MacArthur Cardinals by a count of 11-6. Goodman stays alive that time, just reaching out and punching that ball foul. Called strike 3. Goodman kind of surprised by the call, but back-to-back strikeouts by Woolover. And for one of the few times in this ball game, the Irving Tigers do not score.
Actually, two innings in a row they haven't scored.
So for the Tigers, they have a 5-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Irving 11 and the Cardinals 6.
That may be a good time now to talk about those good folk who bring you the ball game of the week each week on ICT, and of course, our longtime sponsor. It is not the Irving Arts Center, although if you want to call, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be glad to take your money. Yes. It is, of course, Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning, a charter sponsor of the game of the week. That designation means they've been with us since we started doing these broadcasts a whole long time ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Sure was. September of 1983.
Yeah. So our thanks to the Stavely folks for being with us all these many years to enable us to bring you the ball game of the week each week right here on ICTM. Beautiful night here. The baseball game's already done. Ach du Liebe, how does this happen?
Good pitching.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, the Blue Raiders won it by a score of 10-0. Max lost a few in a row now. And coming up next week on ICTN, Moss Baseball.
Yeah, we'll be back at Nimitz.
Yeah, as they will play Los Mustangs from Grapevine. Nimitz so far undefeated. Don't know what they did tonight, but who knows what will happen next week. They sure played impressively against Mac last week, though.
Yes, they did.
The pitching was very, very good.
The pitching was, the whole ball game was good. They ran the bases well. They defended well. Just played a good game.
Yeah, well, that'll win you some good games there now and then.
Well, the Irving Tigers, who were down 8-1 and going into the bottom of the second inning, have battled back. It's now an 11-6 ball game. And there's a line shot into left field.
Watkins leading things off here in the home half of the sixth with a base hit.
Casey Watkins picking up her first base hit.
And Lakin Woolover up. She has reached on an error, singled, scored 2 runs, also grounded out. Just wants to get on base.
It does. Drives to left center field. Watkins around third, and they're going to hold her up. A double for Woolover.
Unlike the last inning where they had a lot of excuse me hits, these are two hard hit balls. That's inside. She turns on it nicely and drills it all the way to the wall.
Well, you look at what Goodwin's done now. She gave up 1 hit in the second inning, 2 in the third, gave up 2 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth. First 2 batters here have gotten base hits. Here's a ground ball.
Oh no! Bad decision.
Yeah.
You got the lead. You don't need to come home.
Fielder's choice that time. Run comes in. RBI for the batter, and it's an 11-7 ball game.
See it one more time as they hit it right to Madison Goodman.
Terrible throw.
It was a bad throw. I mean, a good throw has her, but still, though, the place to first base, really. You need outs.
So you got runners at first and third, nobody out, a run in. It's an 11-7 ball game. Here's Ashley Tegler. Pitch down low, ball 1.
Don't know that it was a great move to move the runner either, but obviously it worked.
Low again, ball 2. And
Ball
on
gets
that
away.
wild pitch, the base runner from first goes down to second. Well, the last inning was a tough one for the for the Tigers, and this one isn't looking much better. Long drive to left center field. That's up the alley. Here comes 1 run in. It's another double.
They had to hold the runner because they wasn't sure if the center fielder Handelman was going to get over there and make the play. But I mean, they are really ripping the ball now.
So the tying run comes up in the person of Brianna Miller.
And that is going to be it, I would think.
I don't know who the other pitchers might be at this team, but I think this young lady has had the fork put in her. She's really done.
Yeah, I mean, this inning especially, I mean, they've been hitting her hard. Garza and Rojo have also pitched, but it doesn't look like they're going to make a change. I don't know why. I don't know what this conversation is all about unless it's to give this young lady time to get in there. Justice Rojo there.
Well, they're sticking with Goodman. You got to give the Cardinals a lot of credit. It looked like they were way out of this ball game, and they have battled back.
Well, they were way out of it, yeah. And you're right, they have battled back.
There's a little looper, center field, going to be a base hit. Another run will score. That'll make it 11-9. As the throw came in, Goodman got the throw and had an opportunity to get the hitter who had rounded first base, but wasn't able to pull off the play. So it's now 11-9. And Jocelyn Martin comes up. Jocelyn Martin right now is the tie-breaking run. First pitch in for a strike.
And nobody out.
No, not at all. Talk about the Tigers cratering. Martin is 1 for 2 tonight. Walked, grounded out, singled.
Hitter.
Hit by a pitch. Now the bases are loaded. So look at this inning. You've had a single, a double, a fielder's choice where no out was recorded, a wild pitch, a double, a single, a hit batter, still nobody out, bases loaded, 3 runs in, go lightly the batter.
Now the go-ahead run is at first base.
And that first pitch, ball 1. Pitch swung and a miss. Goodman just trying to hold on right now. Strike 2. Cardinal fans really ought to be thrilled because their team has really battled back here. Down by 7, now they trail by about 2. Pitch outside for a ball. Foul ball down the third baseline. Danielle Carr, the runner, down at third base.
Good job of running too by Carr to be in foul territory.
That one sliced off foul. Obviously, the one thing that Goodman does not want to do right now is to walk this batter. You got the bases loaded. Got to pitch to her. And that's ball 3. Well, no place to put her. Bases loaded, nobody out, 3 runs in. The Tigers up by 2. And the pitch. The Tigers up by 1. Walks the run in, and it's an 11-10 ball game. You have to wonder why they're keeping Goodman in here. I guess maybe the other girls aren't as good as she is, but this girl is really gassed.
Cream is going to come in to hit, and I thought she had come out of the ball game.
Well, she was a pinch hitter.
Right, but they put Brooks back into the outfield.
Right.
I thought once you left the game, you weren't allowed back in, but obviously then I don't know the rules.
So at 11-10, there's a drive deep to center field. Back goes the center fielder and makes the grab.
She left early. She's gonna be tagged. A double play. The runner at third left a triple play. How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Incredible. You got to see this to believe it.
Do you believe this?
Yeah.
A major base running boner there, and the coach was right there. He should have had his girls tagging up. But watch the runner at third. A great catch by Handelman, and they get the ball in. And so they tag second. She's out. And then they go to first, nope, go to third. There's 2 outs, and there's 3 out. So the runners at second and third did not tag up, and they're out. And I got to hang that on the coach. He should have been there telling his girls to tag up. Go back, tag up. Instead, it's a triple play with the bases loaded, nobody out, and trailing by 2 runs. Ay caramba, Bob.
Yeah. So it's an 11-10 ball game as we go to the 7th inning. Well, see, Goodman, give him the old triple play pitch. Ever seen that one before?
Never. No, get back. Too late now because she'd have to tag home plate to come back.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, no. Look at the coach, Achtuliba. Oh, my. Look at the face he makes there is absolutely freeze frame priceless there, Scott.
That's just a look of disbelief. I see it. I don't believe it.
Oh. Did we really do that? Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Well, first, last, and always, you got to give a lot of credit to the center fielder, Handelman, making that catch.
Yeah. If she doesn't make it, it's MacArthur has the lead right now, and we're still batting.
So we go to the 7th inning. This game's scheduled for 7. It's an 11-10 ball game. Ariana Garcia is the batter. The difference in this game, why it's so close now, is the last 2 innings the Tigers have not scored. The Cardinals have scored 6 runs.
Yep, they've been shut out the last 3 innings. The Tigers have.
Last 2, yeah. Here's a slicing fly ball down the right field line. Grabbed, and there's 1 away. Nice play by Jocelyn Martin. So Daisy Martinez comes up. Daisy is 2 for 4. The way the Tigers are going right now, they really need to score some runs. They do have a 1-run lead.
Yeah.
But the way the Cardinals been playing, I don't know that 1 run's going to hold up here. Well, we'll see. It's been a fun game. Certainly different,
Yeah, well, that last inning, truly something I've never seen before. So
this is a pop fly. The shortstop back has it 2 down. So quickly 2 up and 2 out. Well overdoing her job. And that's getting the Tigers to go back to the bench. And Melissa Handelman will come up now. This is the center fielder who made the all-important catch there in the bottom of the 6th inning that started the triple play. Her catch and throw and some bad base running wound up for a triple play. Pitch in for a strike.
Usually, Bob, what happens after a great play like that, Handelman would have been
leading off the inning. Yeah, right. 1-1 the count to Handelman. The last time up, she just drilled a shot in the left field for a base hit.
She's a good-looking hitter.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And that's in for a strike. 1-2. 2-2 the count. Well, the Cardinals came into this game in district play, having won twice and losing 4 times. And for Irving, it was a mirror image. They had 4 wins and 2 losses. Well, a big game for both teams. This is a pop fly. The first baseman has it, and a very nice job by Woolover. As she retires the Tiger, she retires them in order, 1, 2, 3.
That's the first 1, 2, 3 inning we've had in this ball game by either team. Now, bottom of the 7th, 1-run lead. Whoa! Yeah, back there in the second, third inning, it all appeared to be, we're just going to wait until let Irving run rule him, and we'll just get out of here.
So it looked that way, yeah, definitely. Well, it's all up to this young lady you see taking those throws right now.
Yep, Mackenzie Goodman.
She's the pitcher of record.
She has struggled the last 2 innings, to say the very least. Well, how do you like the paint on her face, Bob?
Yeah, really. Think it's mascara?
Don't know. Lady Tigers, or Lady Cardinals, I should say, they hung 32 up on R.L. Turner, and Tori Morris had 8 RBIs in that game.
Wow.
It's a pretty good game.
Sure was. There is a line shot right to the second baseman. Watkins hit it right on the nose, but the second baseman was there to put it away, and there's one away.
Well, that's Maya. Now comes Casey. Nope, we have a pinch hitter here.
This Jackie Alvarado, number 6. No, I'll take that back. It's Erica Escudero.
Escudero, yeah.
Yeah, Erica Escudero. She up on the count 1-0. Now this came into the game batting 176. Pitch in for a strike, 1-1. She's hitting for Casey Watkins. Tall order for this young lady. Try and get on base. Pop fly, third baseman running for it. Catcher makes the grab, and they're 2 away.
Very, very, very nice play that time by Garza. I mean, that is a tough job behind the plate to get those foul balls. Look at a smile.
Got a big smile on her face.
She knows she did it well.
And she's got a reason to smile.
She
too.
does.
Yeah.
That was a good play by the young lady as Rainey brings that home. Good job.
So here is Lakin Woolover.
Last chance. Lakin absolutely must score for the Cardinals to have a chance to.
She doesn't
to win
score,
this game.
and the Cardinals don't win. Yeah, that's
right.
how it is right now. At first pitch, outside, ball 1.
Lakin really ripped a double her last time up. 2 for 4 tonight. Single, double, grounded out, fly out to right, or reaching on the air and a fly tonight.
That pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Lakin started this game as the shortstop, and when the starting pitcher just was not effective at all, they brought her in as relief pitcher, and she's gone the distance. Now the 1-1 pitch. A high fly ball to left field. The left fielder going back. It's way back. It's gone. It's a home run, and we're tied.
Lakin Woolover got a pitch up, and she absolutely ripped it. We are tied, ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom of the 7th. 2 out. How's this for theatrics here, huh? A pitch up, and whoa, does she hammer this baby. That has gone by plenty. And now Tori Morris with a chance to put the winning run down on base. What a hit for Lakin Woolworth. What a big night for that young lady.
Been a 1-1 count, and she drove it. She was the last chance for the Cardinals, and she came through big time. So Tori Morris, the first baseman, up there now. Tori with a pair of doubles tonight. Watches that first pitch in for a strike. Boy, what a ball game this has been.
Oh, yeah.
And that's strike two. The Tigers jumped off to an 8-1 lead after just 1.5 innings of play, and it looked like, wow, lights out, forget it, everybody. But the Cardinals have really battled back. You got to give them a lot of credit to what they've done. Again, that one fouled, and the 0-2 count holds.
You smell it, Bob?
Yes, I do. Extra innings. Randy Galloway, now a retired sports columnist for the Star-Telegram, when he covered the Texas Rangers, had a very unusual way of talking about it, right through the legs of the pitcher into center field for a base hit. Randy would say he smells the dreaded stench of extra innings. Base hit for Morris.
Boy, you just talk about a seeing eye hit right through the wicket. So Ashley Tegler up, and she has hit the ball extremely well tonight.
Yes, she has.
So now we're going to have a long conversation here about where they're going to go with the ball, I'm sure, if Morris tries to steal or something like that. Well, Lakin Woolover with the big blow here to tie the ball game up, a 2-out home run.
And here is Ashley Tegler, who's after that first one, fouls it off.
By the time that ball struck down, Tori Morris was halfway to third base.
Morris showed some good foot speed there. If Tegler is able to drive one up the alley, Morris could score. And pitch in, strike two.
Tegler's hit the ball very well tonight. A single, a double, 2 singles, in fact, and a ground out. Has a couple of RBIs. She'd love to get one right here.
Hit right off Goodman's body. The throw to first will go into extra innings. The ball hit sharply, but Goodman was able to defend her position. So we are tied after 7 innings. We go into extra innings, and we'll be back in a moment. Here we go to the top of the 8th inning. Extra innings for us here on ICTN. The first pitch swung out and popped up. First baseman waits for it and has it. So first ball swinging. The batter is up and out. And the Tigers are really having difficulty trying to get anyone to get on base.
6 in a row have been retired so far by Woolover.
Mackenzie Goodman having popped out. Now here is Justice Rojo. Lines a single into center field. Base hit for Justice.
So one would think there's going to be a pinch runner here.
And there will be. Courtesy runner going down to first base.
Be number 2. Jackie Alvarado. And Morgan Wang steps up.
Wang has had a couple of base hits tonight.
Yep, 3 RBIs.
Fouls off that first one.
Ashley Tegler is new catcher. I don't know what other changes there are that have been made.
Willover, having hit that game-tying home run, delivers and hits a shot in the right center field. Nice grab by the right center
Got a
fielder.
double play.
And they've got a double play. So the courtesy runner is doubled off first base. Oh, brother. Nice play by the center fielder. Made the catch and then very alertly threw to first base and doubled off the runner.
Alvarado got way too far off. Needed to go halfway. Instead, she was almost to second base. And so by the time she gets back, it's too late. Look at her lift this high fly ball here. And as you can see, it's not close. Double play, 8-3 if you're scoring it. And I know none of you are, so.
Well, we say Alvarado. Actually, that young lady's wearing number 2, and our program said that's Alexis Cruz. The program we have here shows Jackie Alvarado wearing number 6. Whoever the young lady was, she's doubled off first base, that's for sure.
This is a fact.
And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. So the last 4 innings, Tigers have not been able to score anything, whereas the Cardinals have scored 7 times. Boy, that'll even things up pretty quickly.
Better will. And it'll be Miller, Martin, and Golightly. Number 6, 7, and 8 hitters here for Mac in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Miller is 2 for 4. She was called out on strikes, popped up, and she has singled twice her last 2 times up and had an RBI.
And the first pitch to Brianna is outside, ball 1. Pop up, second baseman has it, 1 away. Jocelyn Martin, the right fielder, will come up.
Grounded out, walked, doubled, hit by a pitch, RBI, scored a run. She's done a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Made
sure
a fine
has.
play in right field.
Right. Hits a ground ball, second baseman up with it, throws, 2 down. And now Golightly will come up. So quickly, 2 up and 2 down. Remember, this is kind of like the last half inning where the Cardinals had their first 2 players up and out. Only to have the third batter come up and look like she's going to be the last batter of the game to hit a home run and tie this thing up. So here is Golightly.
Yeah, I don't know if Golightly can hit one out, but
No, I wouldn't think so, but you never know. By the same token, I wasn't looking for Willover to hit one out either.
yeah, but she's a good hitter, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a good athlete. Yeah. Pitch in for a strike, 0-2. Goodman trying to hold on here. And Golightly goes down. Swinging lightly.
That wasn't a strong cut, was it?
No, so we'll go to the 9th inning of an 11-11 ball game. And again, this is one of the things that makes this game so interesting. You'll have innings where everybody gets base hits, people scoring like crazy, and then suddenly it turns around and no one can get on base at all.
And that's the first time that the Cardinals have gone up, 3 down.
To the 9th inning we go. That's a good shot of the Irving Tigers and their dugout.
Tigers also did nasty things to our Turner, like most teams do. the school record 26 runs. Antleman had 6 ribbies. Tigers scored 12 in the first, 14 in the second, so
Wow.
it wasn't a good day.
Not for our old Turner, that's for sure. We had a game like that several years ago in Ranchwood, where Roosevelt High School was just overwhelmed. So here we go, the 9th inning, and the first pitch is up high, ball 1.
Rayleigh Garza, the hitter. I'm sure she was thinking that when she caught that pop foul for the second out,
Yeah.
that they were going to win.
2-0 the count to Garza. She's had 2 base hits. Seems like everyone's had 2 base hits. She's single, doubled, bounced into a fielder's choice, and flied out.
Well, 22 runs have been scored, so it's no accident.
2-1 the count.
It'll be Garza, Yao, and Goodman. Madison Goodman here in the top of the 9th.
It's fouled off and fouled it off her foot. Boy, that kind of stings.
Wow. Watch this again.
Oh, off the knee. Yeah. Ooh,
Oh.
even worse. Down on strikes. So Muna Yao comes up.
Now batting number 8, Luna Yao.
Has grounded out twice and struck out. This is a young lady who likes to run up on the ball, even though she isn't bunting. She just runs up. One to 1 to count. Needless to say, the infield plays this young lady up looking for the bunt. She gives them every indication that that's exactly what she's going to do. Runs up, takes pitch, strike 2. 1 or 2 to count. Willover trying to get this second out of the inning. That ball bounced fouled on the third baseline. The coach makes a nice stop of the ball. And back it goes to Miss Willover. Good shot of that young lady.
Yeah.
Fouling that one off.
Well, she hits the ball.
Pitch up high for a ball, 2-2. Willover's job now is to get on base any way possible. Corresponding, I beg your pardon, that's Yao's job to get on base. Willover, her job is to prevent that from happening. Punch hit the ball fouled on the third baseline. So the 2-2 count. Here it comes. Just foul. Reached out on a pitch that was off the outside corner and punched it foul.
Hit the chalk in the third baseline and went foul before it
Passed
crossed the bag.
Yeah. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Fouled again. Boy, when you look at this game, Lance, this is going to be a tough game to lose for either one of these two teams.
Yeah.
For the Tigers, leading 8-1 and lose, oh, boy, And for the Cardinals, battling back from an 8-1 deficit only to lose, just going to be very difficult. Pitch, called strike 3. Rollover ran up on it and then watched it in for the strike.
Well, Yao didn't.
I said,
Yao ran up. Yeah,
Yao.
she didn't like the call. She kind of yowled at that.
Yeah.
But look, the ump has been very consistent tonight with the calls. I mean, if it's around the plate, he's going to call a strike on you.
To the top of the order we go with Madison Goodman. Punches one to right field. Martin waits, has it. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Tigers again. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And Rollover doing a really nice job of containing the Tigers.
Well, 5 consecutive scoreless innings she's tossed up here. So she has done a wonderful job. And
Sure
obviously she hit the big home run to have us here in the 9th inning. And she might get a chance to hit here again in the bottom of the 9th. 2 weeks, we'll have some more softball right here at MacArthur. This time the Lady Vikings will come up here. Its girls haven't had a good season for the last few years, actually. They used to be one of the top programs in North Texas year after year.
Definitely. They come in and you'd figure, well, they're probably going to win the district, and they did.
Yeah, Mike Dyson built a great program there. Did a wonderful job for so many years, but it just kind of dropped off. Really, basically has softball in Irving, more or less anyway. The Irving girls softball league used to have so many good teams, but over the last few years, the town has just kind of dropped off there a bit.
Bonnie Preem leads things off here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
She hit into the triple play her last time up. A deep fly ball to center.
Two and 0 the count. Well, Bonnie can hit the ball. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Came in a pinch hitter and singled, and then hit that long fly ball to center field. That resulted in a triple killing. Chases that one unsuccessfully. Strike 1. 2 and 1 the count.
And the priceless look on Coach McTee's face. I mean, that's... 2-1 the count here in the home half of the 9th.
It's foul back, strike 2.
Two balls, 2 strikes on number 2. But nobody out. So the deuces are not wild.
Not yet, nope. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Called strike 3.
Well, they're calling this way on both sides.
Maya Watkins, the leadoff hitter, comes up now.
You better come up here ready to hit.
Maya's had a real rough night. She's 0 for 5.
Yeah, that'll really sink the batting average, won't it?
First pitch in for a strike.
Now batting number 7, Maya Watkins.
A little tapper. Goodman slow. Got it. Nice play by Goodman.
Well, we're doing a good job out there.
Actually, it's Goodman.
Goodman, my bad, sorry.
Erica Escudero is the batter with 2 outs. Fouls that one back to the screen. Strike 1.
If Erica gets on, would you pitch to Willover?
Oh, of course.
You would?
Of course I would. Sure. You're not going to put the winning run down at second base where if you can score on a single.
I don't know. I don't. She's just hit the ball too well tonight.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, first, this gal's got to get on, and she's 1-2 in a count.
Exactly. Well, base hit.
Here's your chance here.
So Escudero gets the base hit, and Lincoln Wallover comes up.
Just does get by. 2 out. She has hit the ball extremely well her last 2 times up. A hard hit double and obviously the home run.
Takes that first pitch a little bit low, ball 1. Outfielder playing deep and straight away. The base umpire calls timeout while the shortstop is adjusting her shoelace.
Let's watch that tater one more time because obviously it's the reason we're still here. She got one, and there it goes.
Now we're back live. Pitch in for a strike. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Way outside. 2-1. Mackenzie Goodman on the mound. Delivers. Make that 3-1.
Could be one of these unintentional, intentional walks. You give her nothing good to hit.
And the 3-1 pitch. Way outside. Ball 4.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much an intentional walk there.
So Willover draws the walk. Escudero down at second base. And that's going to leave it up to Tori Morris. Her coach talking to her right now. Say, this is what I want you to do. Win this ball.
See the ball. Be the ball. Are you the ball? Be the ball.
So here's the situation. Morris takes the first pitch in for a strike. Outfielder's kind of on edge right now. They know if the ball's hit out their way, they've got to catch it. If they don't, the ball game's over. That pitch down low for a ball.
And they've come in a few steps too.
Yep.
Because anything over their head would be obviously win the game. But if it falls in front of them, they probably lose too.
Boy, this catcher's done a real nice job.
She has.
Yeah.
Now with Garza.
2-1 the count on Morris. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Up high, ball 3. Should Morris draw a walk, then Tegler will be coming up. 3-1 the count on Tori Morris. Runners at first and second. An 11-11 ball game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. That one's fouled out of play. So we got the full count coming up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th and extra innings.
So the runners will be going.
The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4.
She held up. Bases are loaded, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. Sounds like something out of the Billy Joel song, Pressure. So here you are in the ninth. 2 men out and 3 men on. Nowhere to look but inside, where we all respond to pressure. Billy sings it better, by the way.
That's why he makes the big bucks.
That's why he does.
Ashley Tigler, having taken off the catching equipment, is now up there. Took off the shin guards. Bases loaded. First pitch. Ball 1.
Just missed.
I don't know what her coach told her, but I know I tell this kid, you don't swing at anything until you have a strike and then go for it. 1-0 the count. Swung and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1.
That was right down the middle, so she took a whack at it.
She's had 3 base hits. Got 2 singles, a double, 2
Yeah.
ground outs, so she's 3 for 5. Goodman knows she's got to get this better. There's a ground ball to the third baseman. Makes the throw to first, sides retired. So the bases were loaded. The Cardinals had their opportunity, but they couldn't do it. So inning number 10 comes up.
Well, we were due for one of these. And we got one. A very long extra inning game.
Well, there are no short extra inning games, that's for sure.
Sometimes you get one of those low-scoring 1-1 games. But this ain't one of them.
No, not at all.
Now we're coming up on 3 hours. What did it start? 7 o'clock?
7:15.
7:15. So 2 hours, 45 minutes right now. Yeah, some of these people hanging in there. The smart ones bringing the blanket. At least the other ones brought jackets. And gal making the hot dogs just decided to call home saying, we're going into the 10th inning, so won't be home for a while.
Yeah, really.
Let me snap this bubble off here. In 3 weeks, this shows you how long we're going into this ball game, because now we're going into what's happening in 3 weeks. There is a Lady Cardinals, and Scott Snyder whispers in our ear. That assumes this ball game will be over in 3 weeks. But the Cardinals will be playing at Irving.
So we are all set here for the 10th inning, as you see Lakin Woolover on the mound. The young lady who has pitched so well in relief and whose home run tied up this ball game.
Garcia up.
And first pitch way outside, Ariana Garcia.
Walk, singled, flied out, singled, flied out.
She's been busy.
So she's due for a hit. She gets a hit every other time at bat.
That pitch in for a strike, 1-1. A ball and a strike. Top of the 10th inning, extra innings here at the MacArthur campus. Fouls out, one off. MacArthur scored 11 runs in the first 4 innings, and since then they've been scoreless. I said MacArthur, the Irving Tigers.
Yeah.
The Irving Tigers scored 11 runs in the first 4 innings, and since then they've drawn the horse color.
Yeah, those bats just went silent.
There's a little looper over the second baseman's head, in for a base hit.
Well, she continues. Hit every other time at bat. Daisy Martinez, who has not had a big night hitting the ball. An infield single, reached on an error, singled, and then the last 2 a fly out and a pop-up.
She came into this game batting over 400. Shows bunt and does. And
It's a fair ball.
It's a fair ball.
Tegler's just holding the ball. Tegler, you got to throw the ball. So that's an E2 all the way. Sacrifice on an E2.
Wow.
So now you got to bring the infield in. And you probably have to walk Handelman, I think. Seems to me too good a hitter to let her go in this situation. Maybe set a force up at any place. But unfortunately, I think Ashley just had kind of a meltdown there and just kind of froze.
Yeah, Tegler's in there as a substitute catcher. I don't know how much catching she's done. But apparently, she did not hear the home plate umpire call that ball safe, and she didn't really think it was a fair ball. You know,
you have to assume it's a fair ball until you're shown not.
And real good base running by Garcia, who, when she got down to second base, realized third was empty, so she just moved it on down to third. And all the while, Tegler was holding the ball. So here is Handelman up there. The infield playing in, as Lance said that they would. And that first pitch way up high for a ball. Nice stop that time by Tegler. You don't want that wild pitch to get a run in here. Can't make any mistakes defensively. And this young lady is a very, very good hitter. She's got some power. And shows it by sending a high fly ball to center field. Back goes the center fielder. It's over her head. In comes one run. Here is another runner coming to the plate, and she will score. Here's Handelman going to third base, and she's in. So a double by Handelman drives in a pair. And then Handelman goes to third base on the throw to home plate.
If MacArthur loses this game, boy, there's going to be a lot of Cardinals thinking, wow, how did we lose this one?
Yep.
We let this one get away. Again, a high fly ball by Handelman and not able to handle it out there in center field. And as a result, 2 runs come in to score, and then the runner moves up to third base on the throw.
So 2 runs are in. And Handelman down at third base, and there's a long fly ball to center field. Center fielder makes the grab. Here's Handelman coming in. She will score on the sacrifice fly. And just like that, the Tigers have scored 3 times.
Yeah.
So Mackenzie Goodman gets the sacrifice fly.
Watch it one more time here. Miller comes up. The throw is way up the line. And obviously Handelman scores easy.
Roja, a 2-hopper to the shortstop. Throws to first. First baseman tags the runner who's pulled off the base, and they're 2 down. Wang comes up with nobody on, 2 outs, but 3 runs are in. And the Tigers have regained the lead 14-11. First ball swinging, a bad hop. Shortstop cannot make the play.
And so Wang on with the error.
Rayleigh Garza will be our next batter. Tell you one thing, the Tigers aren't wasting any time. They're all up there first ball swinging.
They are. Well, the umpire has been calling been calling strikes. You got to come up there and be ready to hit tonight.
Again, a first ball pitch and a swing, and this time a ground ball foul. So going back over this inning, Garza led off by getting a single into right field. Then Martinez on that very unusual play, just a little dunker in front of home plate. She wound up at second base, and Garcia went all the way around to third as Tegler, the catcher, just held on to the ball and didn't throw it. Here's one popped up in the right field. Martin waits. Martin makes the grab, and the side is retired, but the damage has been done. In the ninth inning, the Tigers score 3 times and take the lead 14-11. And the Cardinals have 3 outs here to try and get back into this ball game. Boy, it's been wild.
They do, and they'll come with Miller, Martin, and Go Lightly here in the bottom half of the 10th inning. And this is, Coach McTee is going to walk home tonight if they don't pull this one out, thinking, oh man, how did we not win this game?
Well, of course, they had the triple play that really,
Yeah.
you would think would just break their back. But even with the triple play, they still came back to tie the ball game.
Yeah, Willover hit the home run.
Yeah.
And then they had the bases loaded in the ninth, but couldn't push a run across.
Both teams obviously have had their opportunities. Goodwin could use a catcher to warm her up.
She could. Most teams have someone out there ready to do it. If
Exactly.
the catcher has been out there on running the base paths, making the last out. Yeah, throw the ball down. Let's get this baby going. I think everybody's ready to go home right now as we're almost into 3 hours of this ball game. It's 10:05 right now.
Well, Goodman didn't get her regular warm-ups, but she's gone the whole game, so you figure
Yeah.
her arm should be pretty warm, you know. Brianna Miller leading things off for the Cardinals. Check swing, but the pitch is in for a strike. Brianna, like so many of her teammates, has 2 base hits. She's 2 for 5.
2 for 5, man alive. That's a special they used to have for going shopping for shoes at Robert Hall in St. Louis.
Really?
2 for 5, man alive. Some really quality shoes there.
There's a little looper in the right field, base hit. So Miller does what she had to do, and that was get on base. Keep the hope for the Cardinals alive as Jocelyn Martin will be coming up. Martin, a left-handed batter, takes that first pitch down low for a ball. So Miller now has 3 base hits. Take a look at Martin. She's had a hit, been hit by a pitch, walked, and has twice grounded out. Takes that one in for a strike, a ball and a strike. That lifted foul down the third baseline, and it's 1-2.
Gal has a nice swing. A nice little inside-out swing to her.
Yeah, she does. Goodman trying to get the first out in this inning. Nice stop by the catcher again. Boy, she has just done a sensational job on those low throws. So important for catchers to really prevent the ball getting away from them. That one fouled out of play, 2-2. I remember years ago talking to a former major league player and manager, Bobby Bragan, and who in his day had been a catcher and also a shortstop. And I asked Bobby, what's the most important thing for a catcher to do? He said, catch every pitch the pitcher throws, every one of them. I guess that's right, really.
Yeah, that's the name of the job, isn't it?
A catcher. Just off the corner of that pitch, and now we have a full count of 3-2.
Would have been interesting to hear what Bobby would have thought of the movie 42.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about that when I saw the movie.
I did too, yeah. Funny man. Yeah. All kinds of baseball knowledge.
Yeah. Base hit, left center field. Martin delivers. Martin with a double. We have runners at second and third.
And the tying run is at the plate.
We can go lightly.
Nobody out.
Now batting number 12, Julia O'Reilly.
So Jocelyn Martin really came through when she needed it. In fact, both these players have. Miller the single, Martin the double. Tell you one thing, the outfielders have really gotten their work chasing these balls. So here comes Go Lightly. First pitch finds the strike zone, strike one. One the count. One of the things in that movie about Jackie Robinson, 42, they brought up the fact that players, when the season was over, then they had to get other jobs.
Right.
They could not support themselves on the money they had been paid. Pitch in for a strike, 1 and 2.
Except the Stars, yeah.
Yeah. The minimum salary in Major League Baseball this year, $500,000. Here's a base hit down the right field line. 1 run is in. And it's now a 14-12 ball game. So Go Lightly comes through in the clutch. 3 consecutive base hits by the Cardinals make it 14-12. The tying runs are on. And let's see who's going to come up here.
Primo.
Bunny Priam, the batter. Takes that first pitch for a strike. One thing about Bonnie, she puts the bat on the ball.
Well, she was called out on strikes her last time, but
hit the long fly ball. That turned out to be the triple play, and before that, got a pinch hit single. Oh, and 1 the count. Make it 1-1. Well, the Cardinals are doing what they had to do, and that's get people on base.
right.
First 3 batters up have all gotten on base. Still nobody out.
Tying run at first.
Runners at the corners, as they like to say. Priam takes outside. No, outside corner for a strike. 1 and 2.
Got to be up there ready to swing with his umpire. He has been very consistent in terms of his play, his pitch calling.
Ground ball by the first baseman into right field. 4th consecutive hit for the Cardinals. And it's now a 14-13 game. Nobody out.
Run.
Tying run at second, winning run at first. Priam comes through again. Watkins now comes up.
She's about the only player here tonight without a hit, too. She has struck out, reached on air, flied out, lined out, and grounded out.
And takes a pitch for a strike.
He's 0 for 6 nights, will kill your batting average. But it can all be forgotten with a big base hit here.
Pitch up high for a ball. Now, sometimes in baseball in this situation, they'd have this girl bunt the runners over. I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do now. I'm sure she's swinging away.
Nope.
Oh, she is bunting. Okay.
It's not a bad call to try to get the winning run to second base.
Unfortunately, though, she was bunting for a base hit. That's tougher to do than just bunt to sacrifice yourself. And it's 1 and 2.
It's a tough situation for the third baseman because she really can't play too far in because she's got to be ready for the play at third.
Ground ball, second baseman, right through the legs. Here's one. Well, the runners are not advancing.
Right. They're playing it cautious. Coach McTee is at third base. That's a base hit, so the bases are loaded. Nobody out. Winning run is at second base.
Ball should have been caught. That's an error by the second baseman. So you got the bases loaded. A little tap. Escudero through the plate.
He's out.
They got the force out at the plate. Nice play.
Got the tag, right?
There's one out. Bases remain loaded. Watch the replay right here.
Right off the end of the bat. Good job by the first baseman, and they get the runner at home. Didn't have to tag her, only had to tag home plate.
And now Woolover comes up with one out, the bases loaded.
No place to put her, of course.
This is the young woman who hit the home run that tied this game.
Look at how they got the outfield, too. Left center fielder is way over in left center right now.
Woolover takes the first pitch in for a strike. That went down low for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bases loaded. The Cardinals have come back with 2 runs here in the bottom of the 10th inning of a 14-13 ball game. Fly ball, right field. The right fielder going back, can't get it. This ball game's going to be over. Woolover has won it in dramatic fashion.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen, huh?
Cardinals win it, and Woolover, the heroine for tonight. Down 8-1, the Cardinals battle back to tie it up at 11-all. Then they're down 14-11. They come up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 10th inning and win it 15-14. How about them Cardinals?
Huh, wow. A bizarre ball game. Obviously, the player of the game is Lakin Woolover. I mean, that's an easy call there. With a double to win it, a home run to put him into extra innings, and a great relief job. You know, it's one of the most exciting ball games we've ever seen, Bob. I mean, it was fun to be out here tonight.
15-14, the final scores, and we'll show you the play of the game right now.
Yep.
And I think you
just
saw it,
here,
Trish.
yeah.
Yeah. There it is, the double over the right fielder's head.
And there's your tying run. Yeah, there's Coach McTee. Andale, yes!
Great victory for the Cardinals.
It was that.
Yeah. For Lance Brown and all the members of our technical crew, this is Bob Barry. Thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you a most pleasant good night.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,